Good morning, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Hello.
Pete, Jeanette.
Morning.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Morning.
Good
Morning,
Hey,
Colin.
morning.
Morning.
Colin. Morning.
Hi, Eric. I see Odin there.
Hey, Neta. Yeah, I got to update that picture one of these days. He's about
I
twice
bet
that
he's
size
bigger than
now.
that now.
Uh,
And
uh,
he's about doubled. He's almost 70 pounds now.
Oh my
So
gosh.
wow.
How big do you
Uh,
think he's going to get?
probably 100, 110.
yeah.
So he'll be almost full size for Pyrenees then, won't he?
Pretty close.
Oh gosh.
In Nunuk, Victoria, in the, uh, forget the name.
How goes it, guys? Just kind of letting people fill in.
I
Uh,
Nick,
Hello.
I'm, I'm sorry. What happened to you?
Shit happens, man. It's part of
What,
it.
how
I
did
don't need
you,
anyone to feel sorry for me. It's I've I compete and I try to find line of progressing and getting hurt. That's
oh,
when you do something at a really high level. A lot of times you're walking a tightrope of um a gain and an injury, and it happened on speed work, and it is what it is. So, this is easier to swallow than getting injured in a contest. When
yeah.
that's where in a contest. I look at it as I'm switched on, and if I get an injury in a contest, I'm gonna finish, and I'm probably gonna go out in a lot worse shape. I don't have it in me to bow out when I'm competing. So I've done it before. I had a very partial tear on my actual world record, a clean and press on the clean. That's why I missed the clean on 400. I partially tore right here. There's a divot in my bicep. Um, so it is what it is all I'm trying to say. It's not really worth. I appreciate first and foremost everyone, the overwhelming love and support I've gotten from the community here has been absolutely. It means the world. But I'm just trying to show you guys I go through it too. Like I do everything right for the most part, um, and I
It
go through it.
happens.
So I need you guys to. What I was trying to really say is like you could be doing everything under the sun, and this stuff can still happen, and that's not a reason to stop. Or I'm looking at, and I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this, guys. When I tell you like I'm attacking this, like we started rehab the next day. I've got a stem cell appointment next week, um, and I'm doing literally everything medically possible to avoid it getting worse and getting surgery and take my recovery time from 8 weeks to about potentially 4 if everything goes how it's supposed to. Um, Literally, we're nuking this thing. Is were the words of uh my hormone doctor. So he's pulling out all the stops, peptides, stem cells. We're doing everything. Um, So that's why I'm not. It doesn't do anybody, me or you guys, for me to be a dickhead about it and sit here and be sad and mopey and it's through. That's it. There's only one there's only one way to go about this, and it's through it. So with that being said, there's a lot of people in here. There's 45. That means we've got new members. For those of you that haven't done one of these form checks before. I usually spend the first couple of minutes kind of letting people get in. When the trickling stops, I move into the form checks. It looks like there was a lot. There was about let's see here. Um, how many do we have? I've got to like open it up. I got to refresh. Hold on. I had a sports massage appointment this morning, so my parents is 30 minutes closer to their office, so I'm on my parents' back porch than my house. So it literally sports massage. Hop on this. I'm telling you guys, I'm attacking this thing. Looks like we have. Whoops. About 80.
Whoa.
So for those of you, this is going to be a little bit of a longer one for those of you that have never done this, and if you can't sit in on it, I don't take it personal. That's why we upload these, and you can come back and watch these on our YouTube. And what we try to do is, you'll notice, for those of you that have never submitted or new to submitting, what really helps us organize this is when you submit, put your name and the lift that you're doing. That way, when we go through and we timestamp you, I think Catch uses AI. I'm not sure how he does it, but we timestamp it based on the name and the lift, so you can go in and see when yours is if you don't want to sit through it, or you can just do it kind of like a podcast with background. But share. Yeah, so when you guys are submitting, be really mindful, if possible, that you put your name in when you label it, name and lift, and I try to say them at the beginning, so it all gets organized for you guys to rewatch it. That's why we do it that way. So without further ado, we are going to get into the form checks. We're starting with Lillian, split squat. We've been working on his width, wider or narrower stance. He's really spread out really deep, and I'm okay with him doing it this way. He's getting good range of motion. Everything looks how it's supposed to be. And here's his narrower stance. I like this better. You're not as spread out, and there's not this ginormous stretch to get just down to depth. A little bit of stretch is okay in that quad, but I like this better. Feel free to comment in the form check article what felt better to you. That's good info for me. We really want to keep that quad loaded, that front quad. That's the goal with these. People still rolling in. Love this. Jonathan, single rep deadlifts. Last 3 sets, failed on. Not bad, Jonathan. He's been a long time finding his position. So, see how when you kick up and back, right? Good, good. Pull in. So when you fail, Jonathan, you're failing in this, boom, kind of off the floor is when it goes. And some people fail at the knees, some people fail off the floor. The deficits, it honestly makes sense where your power really comes in. Your deficits are kind of, we're still figuring out your leg drive on those and your position. So it makes sense why off the floor for you guys, deficits, if you haven't done them yet, or when you're elevated, standing on plates, anywhere between 2 and 4 inches, give or take. I would say about 2 if you're new to them, so the position change isn't drastic. We're creating a longer range of motion, and we're forcing more quad drive out of the hole. Your quads on a deadlift are a big mover. From the quads driving, basically coming off the floor, everything else is holding position. It's keeping you in position until the hamstrings and glutes can get into the lift. So based on how he deficit deadlifts, this completely makes sense. So it's something that we're going to keep paying attention to. But otherwise, your deadlift's looking better each week, man. I love it. Richard Danielson, looks like front squats. Richard, not that long ago, was new, never done a form check. Squats were jacked up, deadlifts were jacked up. Everything was, he had never done this before. And with that in mind, watch how well he moves now. Look at the rack position. It's deep, it's on the delts. He's got a narrower stance that works for him. It's okay. He's got great mobility. He's very supported with that rack position. Good bracing here. He's not folding in the back. He's driving up into that bar. It's very tight and together. This is a colossal night and day difference. So it's just more evidence how and what these form checks do. Richard, I love how these are progressing, man. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for all your support too.
Always. And for those of you saw, he was wearing wrist wraps. So what that does is sometimes in that rack position, that Olympic rack position, it is superior on front squats. It gives us the most dictation in the bar. Sometimes through rep volume, we get this pressure in our wrists. Whenever I front squat, I want compression on my wrists. It takes some of that pain away. Neta, go ahead.
Sorry, couldn't get unmuted. I have a question about straps. Okay, I ordered some and I got them in and I've tried them and I can't make them where they take any of the weight. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Send me a video of do
Okay.
a form check, and show me how you're strapping in, and then on the next one, I can see what you're doing, and I'll have straps with me,
Okay.
and I
Yeah,
will show
'cause
you how to strap in.
I tried to do a video and because of being down inside the dumbbells and everything else, it just didn't work out very
So
well.
if you're recording a video, take a shoe,
Yeah,
put the phone in the heel of your shoe like this, so it
Yeah.
pinches it, and have the camera face the inside. So if you want the camera facing the inside, because when you strap, it should go around and into your hand, not down your hand and then around.
okay. I think that's what I was doing, but it seemed like every time I try to get it rolled in there, and especially one-handed, yeah, I would lose everything I had because it was like the straps are just that slippery.
It's an art form.
So just
There's a little
practice.
bit of a learning curve with straps and learning how to crank them in, but without spending too much time on it, submit me a video, show me what you're doing, and I will walk you through it.
Will do. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Richard, deadlifts. Right? Yeah. Okay. Let me see that first rep again.
Yeah, those are deadlift. Sorry.
Great position. Good speed. So he's accelerating the bar. This is good. You want to patient off the floor and then accelerate input. Lift lightweight like it's heavy. Great brace. Great form. These are fantastic. You don't need to stay locked out that long.
Okay.
1,002 down. That's all you need.
Okay.
The lockout is fantastic. Hips are all the way through. Shoulders are stacked and back. Not shrugging, but back over the hips, stacked on the knees. Again, you're moving so fucking well, dude. I'm stoked for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for all your help too.
Ian Miller, bench press. I believe I heard correctly on Jen's Zoom that Ian just turned 50, I think. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, yesterday. Oh, no, Wednesday, sorry.
Good bar path. So bar path here, coming down to that nipple line, pressing back up towards his face. Leg drive, he's squeezing the butt. He's taking his legs and driving his body up the bench. This is fantastic. Ian, you have a beautiful bench press. This is great because he's one of our local overthinkers, and to see him moving automatically is phenomenal. Ian, squat, no belt on holiday. That's fine. Belts aren't a requirement. They're something you learn to use. They're a tool. Good. Good depth. Good brace. He's not folding. Driving back into the bar actively. Got a little bit shallow, but we're getting to the end of the gas tank here at that weight. Not uncommon. Yes. Good fight. He's gonna take another bite, is he? That is effort. People, this is first set mindset. I guarantee you, if there was one more in the tank, it would have taken his soul. That looked so close to failure. This is what high effort and intensity looks like in your training. Lauren Young, squat.
Hey man, still garbage, I think.
We want to elevate your heels. See how
Okay.
your everything looks good up until the point you have to start hinging to get in position. And then your hinge just doesn't stop. It keeps going. And then when you look, watch your feet. Watch that.
Yeah.
So now we're at the point where our hips are starting to stop descending. And then we start hinging. Boom. Do you see that shift right there in the foot? Watch the foot really close from here to here. See that?
Yeah.
We come out of our
Oh yeah, I'm coming forward over my
forward.
front
So
foot.
look at your upper body. See how that continues to travel? Your hips aren't moving. So you're not getting lower. What you're doing is when you're coming down, look at this position and look at the position you come out in.
Okay.
See how you went from a squat position, now you're almost in a deadlift position.
I'm almost in a good morning, to be honest.
This isn't shit. This is very common. You're flirting with getting it right. And so what we're gonna do is you got a long leg here. So this femur length, and I probably talk about this every time because it matters, and there's nothing we can do about it. Richard Danielson's squat, he is shorter femur, which he has a more upright position. He can get away with narrower. That is what it is. The femur length, what it dictates is this. This is kind of our center right here. So our center is further away from our midfoot when it comes to long femur. People with long femur have a more folded over, more hinged squat position naturally. That doesn't make it bad. That just makes it different. And that's okay. But when you see people squat in those heel elevated shoes, those lifters, it gives us more anterior pelvic tilt. So our hips are naturally more here than here when our heels are elevated. What that does is create some clearance in the hole for our hips to stay in a better position and allows people in that longer heel elevation will create a sensation where it feels a little bit easier to get down to depth because we're not getting so out front. And understanding this, it's not going to change how we execute. What it does is I want you to make aware that you're not bad at squatting. It's not.
Oh, thank God, because everything about it felt so unnatural.
There are world-class squatters with incredibly long legs. So I don't want people to think, oh, I'm not built to squat. That's bullshit. I shouldn't be built to press. My wingspan, I've got long arms. I suck at benching. I'm 5'9". My wingspan is 6'1". I have 4 world records in overhead pressing. That is a complete misconception that, yes, there might be things more advantageous, but that is not the limiting factor. So what we need to do is I want you to get like little, either the 10-pound bumpers, the thinner plates, elevate the heel. So you put it under, midfoot to heel. And I want to see what your squat feels like. So you're going to submit this same angle next week with some heel elevation. And I want you to be able to tell me, and if you can't make the Zoom, that's fine. When you put a comment in the article, I want you to be like, Nick, elevated my heels. This is what I felt. So I can have that feedback going into watching your video.
Perfect. Thank you.
So basically, we're going to adjust some position. And I want you to keep in mind that this is great. You kick back. And then as you come up, you call what I call two-piecing. Your hips come up, then you hinge. You need to get everything driving up into once. So to also counteract this, what I was talking about, Ian's, he's driving into the bar actively. Don't think about just standing up. As you're coming down, you're driving into the bar to stabilize it. As we're coming up out of the hole, we're firing up out of the hole, pushing the ground away with our feet and firing into the bar simultaneously. Get the monkey off your back. You're taking along. You're still making progress. That's all that matters.
Just every day.
I don't care one bit how long this takes. Not.
It took me 2 years to fix my deadlifts, so
So I don't care how long this takes, but I can guarantee you, as long as you keep showing up, we're going to get you there. So. Deadlift is much more sound.
Oh, these are my RDLs.
RDLs, I don't need you to go all the way to the ground with an RDL. I'm more focused on how far back you can push your butt.
Okay, because I literally have to go that far down to feel it in my hamstrings and my ass.
So start focusing on seeing how far back you can push your butt instead of getting all the way down. And what you can do is, as you're working up to your working set, give yourself about a 3 count eccentric on the way down and be like, butt back, butt back, butt back, to the point you can't descend anymore because it's going to cause you to fold.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is it means you ran out of hamstring mobility, which is good. We've got them to their stretch point. Now they got to fire to get you back up. So that's what I want you to focus on is, as you're working up, slow down the eccentric and focus. Keep your position as far as your hinge. It looks beautiful.
Just squeeze back more.
Really, really far. Yep.
Okay, cool. Will do. Thank you, Coach Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Joe Sherlock, deadlift. A little bit out front position-wise, Joe. But the actual hinge pattern is strong. It's good. So what I mean by out front here is he is very much, see if I can see how we're still we're kind of so folded, crunched down on ourselves. We're not setting our lumbar in position. So you're far forward at this shin angle. So what we do is we need to get you back a little bit into your midfoot. And you're going to elevate your hips. 1 second. I know that's loud. My parents' house is there's a fire station right up the road, and they come flying down here all the time. So we're gonna suck your knees back. Literally, we're going from this high shin angle here to sucking the knees back and pushing that tailbone to the sky. And all your difference is going to be this. It's not going to be anything drastic. It's going from here to here. And what I want you to do when you pull yourself into position is I want you to find that point where you're going to feel tension in the bottom of your butt cheeks where the hamstrings attach and the glutes connect. I want you to push down into tension. So when you sit into tension, when we create anterior tilt, i.e. tailbone to the sky, belly button to the floor, what that's going to do is it's going to create that hamstring tension. So when you sit into your hips, that's what I'm talking about. Your actual hinge pattern, once it starts moving, is good. Look at that lockout. Good lockout. So this position is going to carry over into how well you lock out as well. It's going to speed up the bar. It's going to put you in a better position for that top half of your deadlift. Colin, bench press. For those of you that are new, Colin has cerebral palsy. My background with coaching is primarily adaptive, outside of strength athletes and performance. They're some of my favorite people to coach. They're very, if there's a will, there's a way type of people. So Colin's been struggling with getting on the bench without falling off. So I gave him some options to try. His lovely wife here is in his corner, and she's always doing the most. And one of the solutions we came up was have him learn to kind of roll back with a spot, because before he's kind of flopping down, falling off. So this is one of the options we're exploring, and we're seeing how it goes in real time right now. And I guarantee he's getting a core exercise out of this.
Yes, I am. I can feel it.
Nothing. There's no such thing as being too strong in the core. Look at that.
It's all in my mind.
So with cerebral palsy, guys, it can visually be very spastic, the contractions. It and the thing that I've learned with cerebral palsy, being that it's such a broad spectrum, fine motor skills, sometimes there's no improving that, but these big motor skills, giving Colin command by creating tension to basically trick his body into doing what it wants. So I'm finding out through coaching Colin where his body creates tension to allow him to do certain big motor skills. So this slowing it down is forcing him to generate tension, full body. It's just like we did with his squat. So creating that in probably 2 months' time, I'm willing to bet Colin will be able to do this much more effectively and with less input from Ann. And that's the goal. The timetables are different for adaptive athletes for depending on what we have to work with. And it's very much a crawl, walk, run, just like anybody else. Just the crawl might take a little bit longer because Colin's brain and his body, they communicate, but it's like having a constant argument. Colin knows what he wants out of his body, but getting it to do it in the manner that he needs it to do it takes a little bit more of a process and kind of some tricks through generating tension and learning how to generate that tension to create the motor skill he's trying to achieve. So, Colin, this looked good. You didn't fall off.
Am I doing it too fast or?
The press?
Yeah.
The press. This is a great position.
The first shot, the first whop,
You could probably start slowing down the down.
yeah.
And I really want you to push, not through your back to lock out. I want you driving that chest to the ceiling to maintain that arch. And I want you really driving and finishing and squeezing with your tricep. That tricep is what finishes the lockout. So we don't have soft elbow as long as there's no pain for range of motion regions.
No.
Finishing and squeezing the shit out of the dumbbells for you. Because
squeeze.
Yeah, we're going to need bigger input to get your body to do what it needs to do. So a big squeeze and a big squeeze. And then slow, controlled. And then when you input, clinch the dumbbell. Drive. Big squeeze, 1,000, 2, 1,000. And drive. But your press technique, actually, I like it.
You know.
Go ahead.
My personal, my trainer got me that.
Yeah.
In the way back.
Okay.
So
you've got it 90% there. We just got to polish this a little bit. That's all.
I took 3 days off because I strained my
trap.
Dropping my shoulder.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't do what I did and tear it. So
no. I got the dance unit in my chest, so I'm good to go for Monday.
Okay.
Thanks, Nick.
Always, Colin. Ben, deadlift. Good position. Yes. Shoulders over bar. Oh, it's a fight. He knows. He knows when to call it on a lift. This is good. He stalled out. It's okay. Ben, your off the floor was fucking awesome. Boom. Look at that acceleration. All right, Ben. So when you have rack pulls in your program, guess where you're doing them now? Right here. This is where your momentum and your acceleration stalls. It's where I stall. So now you know, moving forward, when you have rack pulls in a program, you know where you got to land. But your form looked good. You just the horsepower was just simply not there that day. And welcome to strength training. You guys aren't going to get every rep all the time, especially when we're really pushing that first set mindset. It's you're going to have misses, and it's part of the process. It's okay. Row, bench press, unsure, elbows, wrist, bar path. Okay. We look like, I think you're a little bit wide. And by a little bit wide, I mean like 1 finger width. That's it. It's not incredibly wide. Because as we come down, you're pretty flared out. We don't want to be collapsed on the way down, but we want to have that snapping bar input so we're tight. And then as we drive, then the elbows flare. The bar path is good. You're coming down to that bra line and driving back up towards your face. There's a lot of really good things here. I can't really see legs. Keep in mind, with that bench press, you see how you're pressing and you're driving with your shoulders up off the bench? When we screw in, we come back and we go down. So we're benching here. My shoulders never come off my lats and out of my back. We're creating posture and creating support using our back. Bench is a full body movement. We're using our entire body. We're squeezing our glutes. There's leg drive into the floor. We're bracing with our core. We're contracting and supporting our chest and our shoulders with our back.
Okay,
Biggest
thank
mistake-
you, Nick.
Yes, ma'am.
I knew you were going to comment that you couldn't see my legs, but I was like, I had no more in me to move the camera and catch my whole body.
It's okay.
So thank you.
you're
And I
doing
learned to bench on I learned to bench on a Smith machine a million years ago because I was told that's all I should use. So it's been a journey. So 1 finger width, and I'll work on the shoulders
Whoever
and the
told you
lats for
that,
sure.
if you ever see him in public, you should kick him in the shin. Just
I
without
will.
on site. Whack. So for the most common thing I see people complaining about shoulders and stuff with bench, it's typically because of what I was just talking about. Because they don't actually get their shoulders stacked onto their back. They're pressing and there's all this movement in the shoulder, and that's loading the joint up and down and back. And that's what creates some of that pinching, that pain. So that's why that packing those lats, I call it, taking your shoulder blades and trying to put them in your back pocket is very important. Matt S, deadlift. Good position so far. Eyes forward. Good first rep. Good second rep. So game of leverage is here. That's what lifting is. He has good lumbar neutrality. He's got thoracic mid-back flexion. Totally fine. Lumbar flexion is where it's high torque. We want neutral lumbar. Thoracic, I'm thoracically in flexion when I deadlift because it gives me more leverage. It doesn't mean I'm not using it. It's loaded. It's using. But the erectors here are a much bigger muscle group than the little things down in here. Everything attaches down here. That's why it can be so temperamental. That's where torque is highest in the midsection, is on that lumbar. So Matt, great work. I'm liking this set this week. Don't look up at the camera every time. Keep those eyes forward. Yes. Well done. Mike Haswell. I don't know what this is. We'll see. Okay, so like an RDL or stiff leg deadlift. Not bad. He's using what he has access to. Valid option when that's the machine. He's doing a great job at keeping neutral in this lumbar. Good eccentric tempo. Mike, that's a you're moving great. There's not the one thing I want to see before every hinge is when you come up at the top, exhale, brace. Creating that tension in the core supports that neutral spine. That's how we protect our back, is through our brace. You're hinging great. You're pushing the butt back. You're doing all the right things. Daryl, Racky, Barbell, Jesus. I think it's an I at the end of his last name. Daryl R, Barbell Deadlift. Let's see. We got a lot of garage gym lifters. It's pretty cool to see. Oh, waiting for it to load. Damn it. Skipped. So we're out front, Daryl. And what I mean by that is when you pull into position here, let's try and go back. We're very limited on leg drive. Look at this space between barbell and leg. So what needs to happen is we need to bring your hips down a little bit, and I need you to come back. So by come back, it's hips drop, and we come back into our midfoot and heel. So you drop the hips, come back. What we want to do is get more legs into the initial drive. Don't think about bending, standing up. I want you to think about pushing the ground away to start the deadlift. See, we're still way out front. So we're giving leverage advantage to the weight. We want to take some of that back. So we need to get the bar close. We want to drop the butt a little bit. And honestly, maybe even where you have the bar set up, by simply dropping your butt, bringing your knees forward, it's going to get you closer to the bar at the start, and will put you in a better position midway through. Your lockout. So we're soft. As the bar is rising, we want to accelerate. The bar should be speeding up when it comes to working weight, not max effort. It's the same input you're going to put in max effort. So as that bar rises, you're going to be driving hard, squeezing your butt as hard as you can. Bring your hips all the way through so your shoulders, hips, and knees are all stacked. Getting the shoulders rolled back at the top, allowing those hips to come through. Low incline, Jan, low incline barbell bench. Okay. So, Jan, arguably, I would slide a little bit further because you're kind of pressing away and you're really far down your body. Your elbows are you're doing this with your elbows. We don't have this connection here. We're very spread out. Look at the travel on your shoulders. So we need to get you stacked, and you need to slide down a little bit. And when it comes to that incline and the Smith machine combo, it can feel a little bit foreign because you're fixed in your bar path. You're not allowed to drive back up towards your face. I'd like to see it a little bit higher on your bra line so you can keep those elbows connected and then flare on the way up and stay control. You're kind of pressing and folding like this versus here. Sandip, barbell squats. Let's see what we're working with this week.
Got merch.
Your position is much better, Sandip. We just need to get you lower. I don't want you to think about this any other way than sit down further. Keep everything the same, just sit down further. Go lower than you think you are, is how I like to put that. But what we're doing with our midsection, everything, keeping rigid, keeping posture, everything's looking better.
Okay, thanks, Nick.
Yes, sir.
On it.
Michelle and Hal. It is humid out here today. I'm sitting here just sweating. Michelle, I want you to pick your eyes up. Focus on something out in front of you. That depth was good. So same for you as that cue is driving into the bar. When you come out of the hole, see how your hips kick up and then you drive into the bar? That input where you correct your folded angle, I want you doing that as soon as you start up. Immediately. Your depth and
pass it
position.
on.
Yes, there's a lot of things she's doing really, really good here position-wise. So it's this moment. I want her out front here with her visual because your body follows your eyes. So from there, as she goes down, great tempo, great control. This position isn't bad. She could get a little bit more upper back tension. It's here. As soon as she comes up, I want her firing into the bar the same time she inputs the stand-up, pal.
Okay, I'll pass it on.
Mustache is looking great, as always.
Thank you, sir.
The Norwegian candy. So come to find out, we have those bubs here.
All right.
I didn't know they were Norwegian, and
Oh, really?
I've been crushing those for like 2 months.
Nice.
And when I saw one in there, I was like, I know what this is. It was great. Thank you for that little gift. I haven't had the whiskey yet. I've been saving that for something occasion wise. I should have smashed it, had it in my gym bag when I tore my lat. I could have used it.
Sorry to hear you injure yourself. Last week you
Um,
mentioned I didn't get deep enough, so I wanted to use that
Yes.
stool to help me.
And I'm going to be on you like flies on shit because you compete in powerlifting. So
I appreciate it.
the last thing I want to happen for you is to do all this work and then get a red light for depth. Yes. So now, same with you. I want your eyes to get out in front of you. So now with this squat pattern, your squat looks fantastic. When we start getting towards the bottom, you see how you kind of come forward with your hips?
Oh, yeah.
I want you to keep reaching for the box behind you. I don't want you to get depth by kicking forward kind of at the bottom, right? Watch the bottom. Boop. You see how you push forward in the knee?
Yeah.
I want you to keep reaching for that box behind you, which could be you take a half step forward from the box. And
Okay, yeah.
simply knowing it's a little bit further back will keep you in that trajectory how you start.
I'll keep that in mind.
Otherwise, depth looks great. Overall form looks great. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Jimmy Pham. Trap bar deadlift. Great position. Jimmy, this is awesome. I want you to squeeze the shit out of your butt as it gets to about that point and accelerate the bar. When you get that glute engagement and your glutes are really pushing, that's what they're doing. They're technically pulling, contracting, but that's what drives the hips through into that upper range. We're polishing this. This overall is great. Position, bar path, everything. It's straight up and down. Well done. Kickstand deadlift. Landmine is a valid option for these. And he's got it across his body. This is good. I would have taken maybe half a foot width out so you don't have to come across because of the angle of which that travels. Overall, it looks good. It's hard to tell if you're keeping all of your weight. 99% of your input is going to be in that front foot when you guys do these single legs. And you have to drive that off hip forward because if you don't, it'll try and open up. And when you're driving that off hip forward, you'll feel that stretch down in the hamstring. Maybe from the side would be a better angle for these, Jimmy, if possible. It's got the little fan. But it looks the things that need to happen look like they're happening from this angle. Francisca, squats, low pin squat. Okay. Yes. Beautiful.
Thank you. Hi, everyone.
This is look, pin squat, she's starting from the pin, she's at depth, she's where she needs to be. For everyone, you might not start at depth. It's okay to work down your pins to get comfortable with this, because I'm sure you can vouch for this. Anyone who's done pin squats, starting in the hole like that, trying to generate tension down in the hole from none, can feel very, very foreign. Are you wearing a band around your legs?
Yes, yes.
Explain to me. What's the reason?
I started this I think it was now my second time to use because of the form, that I can keep my legs in that position I need them. So maybe I will, of course, remove it, but just I think I did it now 2 times and it
Okay.
was good. Or do you think it is really not necessary?
I think you've got some reps in it. I don't think it's necessary. What I think you should do is work up to your working sets with it and then remove it for the working
Yeah.
sets.
Okay.
Because what that's doing is it's actively causing you to drive out, which is good.
Yeah.
You should be doing. But
Yes.
we're going to use it for active input on the workup. And then I want to see if you're doing it and feeling that you're doing it on your working sets without it.
Okay. Thank
It's
you.
a good application. It's a good thing I've
Yeah.
used for countless people, either around the top of the knee, up higher. It does the same purpose. I typically do it around low thigh above the knee because it has more input and you can actively feel the drive a little bit more when the band's lower.
Okay.
But great job. Your pin squats look gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm happy.
You should be.
Yeah, now coming to but this is a deficit deadlift. And you can remember the deadlift from last week where I was just the overthinker.
You like paused halfway up.
Yeah, heavy.
You see how much time was in between your brace and your pull on the second rep? Do that with the first one. So this is better. You didn't take 45 seconds once you got down to the bar to pull on the bar.
Yes.
You took about 15.
Yeah.
So we're moving in the right direction.
Yes.
I want to challenge you to do it in less than 10.
Okay, less than 10.
Know where you need to be. Look at these reps. I
Yeah.
have no doubt your body knows what to do.
Yeah.
Take your brain and set it on the floor next to you for about 8 seconds. And
Okay.
just let your body do the work.
Yes. Yes.
Well done.
Thank you, Nick.
Yes, ma'am. Andy Berger, clean and press. Good. All right, Andy, we got some we can run with here. Fundamentally, great. Again, I teach these clean and presses not to make you guys clean and press to the level of an Olympic lifter, but to do it safely and efficiently within the realms of how you guys are learning to hinge. So, Andy, the clean, I'm happy with. It's doing great. Yes, we can polish, get better. But what I want to address, the loudest thing in the room right now, is this rack position. See how you're push pressing, right? Yep. So you do have a front rack, but it isn't deep. I want you to front rack kind of like a front squat.
Okay.
So get those elbows up so when we dip, the bar can't come forward.
Okay, got it.
So when we get those elbows up and we contract by driving our elbows slightly out and we dip and drive, we can dip and drive with violence and get some explosion and pop coming off of the leg drive directly into the bar.
Okay. Thanks, Nick. I'll try that.
All right. I love this. You're doing fantastic, man.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Natalia Lee, bodyweight squats. All right. Let's see. Good. Okay. So, Natalia, what I want to see is what I just talked about. Why she had that band around her thighs, that actively driving your knees kind of out towards your pinky toes. And I want you to grab the floor with your feet. So what that'll do is there's some instability. See the heels and everything kind of roll inward. And I want you to create tension in your foot. So grabbing the floor and driving those knees out towards your pinky toes. Think about squatting between your hips. So we're driving out, creating glute tension, and our glute tension is going to direct our hips down. And we want to stay in that midfoot, grabbing the floor so we don't necessarily roll. And that knee drive out will keep you from allowing that caving in of the hips and the adductors. Otherwise, your squat is looking pretty good. There's nothing inherently bad about this. But I'd like to see you, I don't know if you're on a bodyweight program or dumbbell program or if you're just looking for clarity on your mechanics. Your mechanics are pretty sound. So I'd be curious to see what this looks like in the application of your workout in something, let's say with weight. You have good squat mechanics. You can progress here. Absolutely. Incline push-ups. Good. So this is a great incline push-up. I challenge you to start reducing the incline. Start making them harder. And one way to progress those is you start at your lowest possible incline and then work your way up as you fatigue out. So we build that threshold. But your push-ups actually look pretty sound. Well done. Jeanette, single arm rows. All right.
I've been stuck inside, so I've had to work out at home. So
It's okay. So a row, we need to actually bend over.
oh,
So
okay.
you're actually doing a high pull in a way. We need to hinge over into that row pattern. So, and what I want you to do is maybe take one of your chairs, put
I
one
have
on
a chair right over here. Yeah.
Yeah, put one arm on the chair out in front of you, bent over, and then row, and use that for support to find your position. And then switch arms, put it on the chair, and row. So we're much more in this plane versus this plane.
Okay.
And hanging high pulls. Okay. So she was doing high pulls from the floor. We reduced her overall motor skill pattern here. And we are making it from the hang clean position. So she's going to deadlift the bar. Fantastic. She's going to hinge back like an RDL. Explode. Good. So, Anne, I want you to come down to just the top of your knee. Not as deep into almost a full deadlift ROM. Come down to just above the knee. That's where the hang clean position typically is, somewhere around the kneecap. But the actual pull and the hinge is looking much better. You're getting into that triple extension. I'd like to really see those hips come through a little bit further, getting your chest back into thoracic extent. We're extending with that upper back. But this is polishing up. This is cleaning up in the direction we want. So I like this. Well done. Carly, rack pulls. So I actually screenshotted this. Carly, she said, I submitted rack pulls this week. A couple of questions. I did just below the knee on the setup. What is the difference between above and below? You can't see in the video because I focus on vertical shins. Is that something I should be focusing on? Yes. But you're going to do it passively because your deadlift form is sound. What is the focus of rack pulls? 11 weeks out from competition. So it's just powerlifting. So the focus of rack pulls is lockout power through the top half range of motion in the deadlift. It is very hamstring, glute, and lower back heavy. So rack pulls, typically how we use them in a deadlift strengthening application is I will program them at a height for someone if we know where their weak point is off the floor, where you stall or fail a deadlift. Earlier, Ben failed it looked like just below the knee. That's where he's going to rack pull from. So for you, Carly, that's where the focus needs to be on your rack pulls is where is in that mid-range, where are you at your weakest? Where are you going to stall if you're going to stall in that mid-range of motion? Some people do them higher and do them with excessive load in an overloading format. Some people target a specific range of motion where they tend to lose momentum and stall. So for you, I think it's most important we find where that stalling point is in your deadlift, unless you know already, and that's where we drill the rack pull. Otherwise, it looks great. Your hinge pattern, per usual, is fantastic. Pete A, deadlifts. All right, Pete. So as we discussed in the Nashville meetup, already, our position is out of position. So yes, see how we're so folded over? It's not far out of position, but what we need to do is get you that physical signal of getting you, see this lumbar flexion right here? How we're curved all the way through the back, especially in the lumbar. What we need you to do is getting you turning your tailbone to the sky so this becomes flat, that cat-cow motion. What really worked for Benoit and Andres is we took their deadlift, elevated it, and it's easier to get in position when you're less folded over. We find that position and gradually drop it down to full range of motion over a period of several weeks.
Okay.
So for you, I think this is going to be the path forward because it's not a thing that you can't. It's a thing of finding that physical cue where it clicks with your body so you feel it happening. So what I want you to do is if there's bumpers or boxes, I want you to elevate your deadlift to like a rack pull height. So I want you to start at just above the knee with the bar. And I want to see you finding this position with your hips. So we're here. I want to see it here. And whether that's easier here is what I want to determine. So we're going to start higher. And if it's easier for you to go bit up here, we'll do that week. And then if that's very easy, we'll drop 2-3 inches. And then we'll do that again. And if it takes some polishing in that range of motion, we'll polish it. Then we'll drop. Then we'll polish. Next thing you know, you'll be at the floor. You'll know that physical cue, and it will be automatic.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
Go ahead.
I'm looking for the YouTube video, so I'll send him the link so he knows, so he can see what you did with me at least, and maybe I'll find Benoit's too, so he can see it.
That's fantastic, Andres.
Awesome.
Thank you. Above and beyond.
Awesome.
And for those of you newcomers, Andres is a regular, and this is kind of what happens here. We look after each other. Like what I love about this community is we have people here that back up the coaches. Me somehow surviving COVID, never using Zoom once, and literally learning how to run Zoom probably about 6 months ago. And people like Andres and others kind of, along with a lot of patience, kind of helping me navigate it. So I'm learning things here too. So thank you, Andres. That is very kind. We'll get you squared away for you. We did it with Andres. We did it with Benoit. We'll do it with others. We're going to do it with you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Pete, lowish pin squats. People are in the waiting room. Admit.
Yeah, on this one I'm using, you wanted to see, I'm actually using straps on the back. Yeah, to hold the bar
Yes.
up is a
Yep, we discussed that with your restrictions.
right.
Totally fine. So it's a very similar thing that affects your squat. See how you come down and forward and you collapse here in this lumbar?
Right.
Same thing with your pin squats. Let's elevate them. I've done this with a few other folks in here because I want you to keep your hips behind you. I don't want them coming under. I want you to hold that neutral position. Brace, hold, and sit behind your heels. See how you're pushing forward in your squat? You come down and then boop, you come forward.
Right.
And then you have this like arch in your bar path. So we want that bar path to go like this, not like this. So we've got to, and the same thing that's making you come forward on here is the same thing that's going on with your deadlift position. So I'm very confident that your deadlift progression will align with your squat progression because it's coming from the same place. So we're going to attack your pin squats the same way we're attacking your deadlift.
Just keep it high.
Look, see, you're neutral. As you descend, you're still there. You're still there. This is good. This is good. This is good. Where are we going? Wait, stop. No. Don't do that. And
Right.
So
I want to apply that like tomorrow on the menu, I got front squats. So apply the same idea with that, I'm guessing.
Correct. Yep. So I want you to stop somewhere in here.
Okay.
Yep. And focus on keeping that tailbone turned up, belly button kind of. I use it to exaggerate the sensation. Belly button to the floor out in front of you, tailbone to the sky. So it activates that you have hyperextension where your tailbone goes up and you have flexion where your tailbone turns down. Anterior, interior tilt. We want anterior to reach that neutral. We don't want hyperextension. We want neutral. But you have to have some anterior input to create neutral.
Gotcha.
Brighton, Overton, single.
Awesome. Thank you.
Jeanette, this is what I was talking about. See how he puts his arm on something in front of him and then rows in that plane? That's it. That's all I want you to do.
Okay.
Brighton, these are great. Good range of motion. Middle of that hand is on target with that belly button line. Good neutral position here. Good range of motion. Nailed it, dude. Brighton, deadlift, failing grip. Some solid weight on the bar. I love it. Cat cow. Boom, sets his back. Yes, sir. Midsection didn't budge. Good lockout. Hold that lockout. I know grip's failing. Do you have chalk? Are you using chalk? Or are you just raw dogging it out here? So with failing grip, if you know you're at a weight where you're starting to fail and you've got singles reps, again, we talked about this, go as long as you can without the straps and then strap up because we still want the posterior chain to be the target, but we don't want grip to slack. So when it comes to deadlift, guys, rule of thumb, do as much of it as you can without straps. And then when you get to a point in your working sets, like say you start failing at the end of your second set, strap up for the third set. Keep cooking. Barrett, seated clean and press. Good. So good little flip right up into the press. See how you're kind of not letting your arm go straight down? You're leaving a little bit of momentum on the table to help with that snatch and flip. So you can do a little kickback so they swing back and then you get that forward momentum. And as they start coming into neutral, so you go bip, you get that little bit of swing as it starts coming forward, you just yank up, snatch it, drive the elbows underneath. You've got the right idea. We just need to get a little bit of momentum involved. Ellis, stiff leg deadlifts. Ellis, arguably, guys, has one of the prettiest, fundamentally sound deadlifts in here. He's got great range of motion. He can go all the way down to the floor with the stiff legs. A stiff leg deadlift is basically a deadlift with as little leg drive as possible. It is mostly glute and hamstring. The deviation from that RDLs kind of pulse. They don't go all the way down to the floor because we're focused on how far back we can get our butt, which significantly reduces our range of motion. Ellis, these are fantastic. Look at this acceleration. Pow. Locks out. Snaps the hips through. Squeezes the butt. Gorgeous. Doing these exactly. I think you can do them heavier, man.
Yeah, next time I will. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, don't be a coward. Joe, I got your stuff. I'll be going over them. I'll be going through them this weekend.
Thank you.
We can schedule our meetup for early next week if you like.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
For those of you that don't know, Joe, she's one of the people on the adaptive side here. I work with some of them a little bit more in depth because it's required. So that is what I'm talking about for context. And she gets brownie points because Ellis moves like fantastically. I was about to like make fun of you, but it's so pretty. I pulled the punch there.
It's down to you, buddy.
And you're a physio, correct?
Both physios, yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is where it makes my job exciting and fun for me because I can use some of the terms anterior, interior, and those things that I was taught that my brain latched onto and understand. And I don't know the big scientific-y muscle terms. That is not my background. That's not where I come from. They probably know more of those than I do by a landslide. But the input they make, there are some people that are kind of like what I call my candy bars when it comes to coaching, where it's like they just understand it because they understand movement pattern. Being physios, they understand what application requires and what outcome is desired without having to. They make it super easy because they come from a point of where movement pattern is a big part of their job. So in a way, it's where a coach client dynamic kind of works symbiotically. Whereas like someone who's totally new, it forces me to grow as a coach because, and it's the other end of the spectrum that I like. Something might not click for everyone, right? It could be a cue that has worked on 100 people. This 101, it doesn't work because it just doesn't make sense. So that's where I got to kind of get creative on how I word something and add another tool to my arsenal. Whereas Ellis I'm a spoiled brat with because he's just, it clicks. And this is the broad range of the spectrum, right? You have people that have never done an athletic thing in their life. Fine. I'll get you moving. And then we have people that need help, but understand the processes and the movement patterns that need to happen, that just, it clicks. Both are satisfying for very different reasons. Like Pete, it's not what I normally use for people. I had to learn work with Benoit and Andres because I recognized they had a similar hang up. So that equipped me. And it's not that I haven't encountered this before, but they click on the same thing and the same analogy. And I'm very confident it's going to click with Pete. So that's where through Andres Benoit within this ecosystem, it equipped. I'm like, okay, that was one I haven't tried before with people. I'm going to try it at them. Oh, it worked. Cool. Tool stored in my pocket. I'm whipping it back out for Pete. Dan Welland, clean and press. Okay. So this is a different variation. So he cleaned and he went up into a strict press. So it's a different rack position. So no leg drive. He's in that strict press rack position. That is correct. Let's take it. Let's analyze this clean a little bit. He's hang cleaning. Good. Snaps. Dan, you're cooking with bacon grease, baby. I love this. So with this rack position, I want more extension out of this. Thoracic, not lower back bar. I want thoracic extension. So with that strict press, we're going to take our shoulder blades, stack on our lats, and it's going to push our chest to the sky. And we're going to press, not just with our shoulders, but with all those little muscles, those stabilize. The rear delts are a massive stabilizer in the overhead press. So how we stack them, just like a bench press. Think of this as a bird of a feather to a standing bench press, is how I want you to conceptualize this. So when we stack in our back and our shoulders, now we're getting here. So when you press, look where you're ending up. See how you tipped forward slightly? Now this bar is out front. By rolling into that thoracic extension and stacking up our posterior chain, it brings that bar closer to our midsection, which is good. See, you're pressing up, correct, but you're out front. Look where you finish. So if we get more extension out of this part of your body, you can then press, let it cook, boom, and then when you put your head down into normal, it lines up over the back of your head. So we go from here, finish, here, and now I'm stacked further over my hips due to that thoracic extension. Strict pressing in and of itself is its own craft. Torin, he submitted more than 2, but it's more so for our entertainment. He is out in the wild on a stag hunt, and I told him to just send me the stuff. I gave him some ideas to train in the woods. So here we are with stones in a lake, and this is my favorite thing ever. Just figured it out, not skipping a beat with training and having fun with it. This is so much fun. Shouldering a stone, big boy from Norway, out here in flip-flops in a stream, doing stone to shoulder. It doesn't get any more over shoulder. Just toss that. This makes my heart so happy, because I know how fun this is. What's he using now? So he's simulating a deadlift, hinge pattern. So he's got a giant tire. Look at that, driving into it and deadlifting. Hinge pattern. He's not flipping it, he's deadlifting. Hips through. This is what he has, and he's getting it in. So when someone says, I don't have gym equipment, this dude's out here with rocks and a tire. Just picking shit up and putting it down, getting work in. Outstanding job. Log shoulder press. The OG log press. This is where it all started. Strong man. There's something poetic about a giant Norwegian out in the middle of nowhere pressing a log over his head. It's just how it's supposed to be. And just repping it out in flip-flops. Landmine squat. Okay, so he took a log and created a squat implement. He had one on his back before, and now he's doing a landmine goblet-style squat with a tree. Fantastic. Purely, if there's a will, there's a way. No equipment, no gym clothes, just out here in flip-flops and in the middle of nowhere. Back into the form checks. Torin, thank you for that. That was a delight. So Ken, barbell squats. Let's see what we got. That was a nice little halfway point break. Ooh, nailed this. Great range of motion, great depth. Look at him firing into that bar. Boom, driving active engagement into the bar. Great depth. Ken, I hope these felt great because they look fucking awesome. Well done. Susan Ford, dumbbell squats. So goblet style squat. All right, Susan. Especially that first rep, it was very loud. Watch how we see the hinge. See how the hips stop descending. So I want you to think about sitting. I don't want you to think about getting low, because the further we hinge doesn't change our depth. I want you to actively create tension in the upper back by retracting the shoulder blades, proud chest to support the weight. And as you sit, I want you to reach back behind you. This was better. Look how much further back our hips are behind our heels.
I remember doing them. I could feel that felt better. So I tried to get lower on the others.
Yes. That's the trick, right? Is finding that sweet spot. So
I
one
was
thing,
coming forward too much. Am I still doing that? I don't seem to be able to do it any other way. If I do upright, then I fall back.
I think you're a little bit, how tall are you? It's hard to tell from this angle.
5'2", short.
Yeah, but you're not like disproportionate. Like you're not
Okay, yeah.
you're not super short femured, you're not long femured either. Like your proportion between torso length, you look longer torso.
Oh, it's very short torso. That's just the angle from the floor.
Okay, it's the angle.
My torso is shorter than my legs.
This angle could be exactly why I'm like trying to figure it out.
Okay, I can try and set it up on the block next time.
Yes.
It's a new gym for me too, so
It's either way, it's not going to change how we address it. I think if you get a bench or something at depth, because our depth marker is our hip in relation to the top of our knee. So you're close here. So here to here, we need to get this below that knee line. So what we can do, whatever equipment you have access to, some people have low boxes. But if you don't, and if all there is are benches, put a bench behind you, put like bumper plates to elevate your feet, and then that brings you up higher to make up for the depth.
yeah. At home, I have a shower, one of those shower stool things for medical. My husband needed it. I kept it because it's so handy. I can put it on a low setting and see if that gets me to depth. I probably have to take a picture of myself to tell.
So, do you remember with Mike how at home I have him bodyweight squatting with his forearms against the wall?
Yeah.
And once you start playing with that,
how close to the wall do I need to be?
it's going to depend on what puts you in that position. So, let me see if I can. There's a screened in porch. I don't want to get too bold on pressing on that one here. So for me, you kind of got to find it. So I'm going to start here. I'm a little too close. I'm out of room. So I'm going to take
because your knees are bumping.
a little quarter step back, and I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, this is where I need to be. So that's what it's going to look like. You're going to start close and work your way out.
Just start with body weight at home.
Yes,
or I have a kettlebell at home. I can still do.
This is homework. So this is just finding position at home in your own time. You don't need to get a workout. It's just I want you to get comfortable. So when you go to the gym and you have the weight and you have the box, that you're not sitting on the box, you're just kissing it, just touching it. It's just physical feedback.
Okay, yeah. Back in 2018, I could squat for days, and now it's like, how do you forget? It just baffles me.
Every baby comes out of the womb with perfect squat technique. And then somewhere in translation, with us growing up, it's like we lose it.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Liz Fakowski, squats. Okay, very similar to Susan here. We have a lot of fold, a lot of hinge happening. And I think part of this is just you getting accustomed to the pattern. So I don't want you worrying about if there's a bar. what we're going to do is we need to get you comfortable with going low. So you're about halfway down. So this needs to get below this. And Susan, it looks like you've got some really long legs. So folding is going to happen due to this femur length because of the distance of your hips in relation to your knees and where your center is. It's further away from the middle of your foot. That's the dictation. So some heel elevation might make it feel a little bit more comfortable. Step on some like little plates, or if you've got heel blocks, anything to get, about an inch or two of heel elevation. And I want you to sit. That's it. That's all I want you to do is just sit as low as you can go. I want you to get used to getting low, and then we'll build it out from there. This isn't a bad start. We just need to get you comfortable and then get you progressing. Jan, front squats. Great rack position. We're favoring one side. That hip is kicking over to whether this is right or left foot. I want you to drive those knees out. Squeeze your glutes before the start. The rack position's good. Jan, I want to see these from the side next week, please. I want to see what the actual hinging looks like. Now that I've got this info, I want to see it from the side, and then we'll go from there. But for now, I want you squeezing your butt at the start, and as you descend, drive your knees out over your pinky toes. You should generate a little bit of hip glute tension there, and that should. It's like if you're on a racetrack and you have a left and right wall, you're drag racing as fast as you can. Squeezing your glutes give you that left and right wall a little bit. When you have that glute tension, it's only going to let your hips do so much. So we want to generate it from the start to kind of create that guide on the way down. Now, if there's an injury or something that you're favoring, a leg, a knee, whatever, tell me. And then we can add that information into the mix and how we approach this. Moss, deficit deadlift. Fucking awesome. This is what I mean, pulling yourself down into position. He pulls himself down into his hips. Tomas, the only thing I want you to be conscious of is when you pull yourself down into position, set this lumbar. The same time you pull down, pull yourself down into that, turning that tailbone up to the sky slightly. And it's very, very, very slight for you. This isn't bad. It's subtle. But this is a way that I'm confident you have the core strength to maintain. But what I love about your setup, it's exactly, it's because it's what I do, but it's what a lot of people do is they pull themselves down into this tension. Look, gets set, pulls down, fires. He knows he's there. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Tomas, yeah, your deadlift gets better every week, man. Mike, this is Mike's son, Mason. We were talking about his squat pattern in Nashville. I told him to show me something. Mike, I saw you're in here.
Yep.
All right. So talk to me. What are the current concerns, barriers with Mason that we're trying to work through? And I'll go from there.
I think a lot of it is kind of balance, just with the condition that he has.
Okay.
He struggles a little bit with depth. So really just trying to find a way for him to be able to do this, because I think we talked a little bit about working towards lunges as well.
If you don't mind, do you want to enlighten everyone on the condition we're working with?
I could, or my wife could tell it even better.
Hi.
Hit
So
us.
Nathan has Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, which is a neuromuscular condition that affects the his distalmost extremity, so his hands and his feet. Neurologically, the brain sends a message to your feet to tell them to move, and the message doesn't always get to his feet. So he is more prone to tripping, losing his balance, and because the message doesn't get there, the muscles atrophy. So his muscles in his hands and his feet are weaker as well. He also, I don't think we told you this, Nick, has hip dysplasia. So he had surgery on both of his hips as well. So that impacts his squat as well.
Yep. All right. So we talked about this in Nashville. I decided to do a little bit of research because I was curious. I want to know more about it, and I want to be able to help. So what I want to start alongside of him just learning the pattern is we want to get in some neural work, basically, some connection. It's not necessarily forcing connection, but giving mechanisms to him for him to apply it, not necessarily in the squat plane. But say he wants to work out and you're squatting that day. What I want you to start doing with him is I want you to start give him some sort of something to hold on to, and kicking one foot out in front of him, standing straight up and lifting it off the ground 2-3 inches and holding it, and see how long he can hold it for. Then switch. Then see how long he can hold it for, and back off that max time by about 5 seconds. Okay. And doing 10 each side. 10 each side. And what I want you to tell him to do is to grab the floor with his foot. Then I want you to do it again. I want him to close his eyes when he does it.
Okay.
And I bet you the time gets cut in half. It does that, people, even without any sort of hurdles like that. It's harder. So we're going to force difficulty into this. After he does it 10 times each side, I want to do it 5 times each side with his eyes closed. But each one with his eyes closed, I want him to do it until he falls over. Not literally, just loses balance. Yep. Like has to put his foot down. So from there, I want him to squat and hold. And I only want him to squat down 3 inches. Hold for 10 seconds. Stand up. Squat down 3 inches. Hold for 10 seconds. Stand up. Then I want him to push lower to, let's say, there. Hold for 10 seconds. Stand up. 2 reps again. Then I want him to push as low as he can go without losing it and hold for 10 seconds. So before we even worry about load, we want to worry about input and building that confidence in recovery. And what I mean by that is he's going to fall over when he has his eyes closed. But I don't want him to open them when he starts to go. Obviously spot him. I want him to react to the feeling and let his body input accordingly.
Okay.
Without the visual stimulation. So remember when I was talking about getting him confident in his ability to recover?
Yeah.
This is where this lies. So we want to get him confident with and build the reaction like clockwork within that. And that stability, that input, that grabbing to the floor is going to balance starts. People try to address balance from the ground up, but it actually starts from the ear down. The control center's up here. And for someone who, with his condition, the control center's not the issue. It's let's call it the mechanism that in between that allows the signals to go where they need to go. So we're just going to force signal sending, right? We're going to create an environment where he's going to create instability, and we're going to push him to adjust constantly, nonstop. Because when you're in that lack of instability, it's all these micro corrections. So it's constant input, rapid fire. We want to build that tolerance. We want to build that sending mechanism. And, there is that restriction with the ability, but we can still improve it within what's there. And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to worry about long term. I mean, obviously we're focused on long term, you know, quality of life, him being able to be active but we're going to worry about getting our baseline right now, getting him used to recovering, and we're just going to stack and stack and stack skill set on the way up with what we can, and then kind of reconvene and figure out, okay, we've got a broad skill set now. What can we do with this skill set to really start turning up the heat? We can strength, we can endurance, we can build these things around the skill sets to apply to the strength and the performance side of what he needs to be active, have fun, go out and do the things he loves, go on vacation and trip over, and peace of mind for you guys. Like, yeah, he's gonna trip, but he knows how to. Like, you don't have to think about it. So that's my goal here, and why I want to go with this approach.
Awesome. That sounds great. I know he was pretty excited when I told him Coach Nick is going to look at his stuff, so I can't wait to show him the video. And really, honestly, I mean, we really appreciate you taking the time to look at
Movement
this.
pattern. This is great. We've got a good base here. That's why I'm not really attacking the movement pattern. We're attacking the things that allows the movement pattern to happen to then attack the movement pattern.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Jeanette, dumbbell deadlift. Jeanette, this is pretty good. You're hinging at the hips, you're leg driving. If there's one thing I trust in you how to do, it's deadlift. You're a strong deadlifter. So your deadlift looks very similar with dumbbells as it does when you're at the gym with the bar. This is great. Good job. Slow down the down a little bit. Nathan Wallen, it looks like we're doing front squats. Good rack position, elbows high. If I remember correctly, your depth was fine in the last one that you sent. I want to see you drive those elbows a little bit up. You see how we're kind of over? I want you to pay attention to getting into the bar. I find my center first. I get my fingers on the bar, and then I push in. And then I crank in. And then I, boop, drive out, and I stand up. And it allows me to get the consistent position every single time. That's what I want you to start focusing on, and getting those elbows really high, getting good dictation to allow those elbows to peel out to contract the upper back. Yeah, see, this is from the side angle, it confirmed exactly why we're going to input this way. We're almost vertical. We want our elbows past the bar. It's going to allow you to get deeper. So you're right there. We need to sit lower. And I think our rack position, which will extend us up a little bit, you'll feel a lot more control over that bar, and you'll have more confidence on the deeper side of this. Benoit. Declined. This would be inclined bench press. Decline would mean our hips are higher than our head. But I guess the French do shit backwards. Just kidding. This is good, Benoit. Good bar path. Same thing here. You see how we're driving at the top and pulling our shoulders apart? I really want you to focus on that back compression, so we don't have to come out of that stacked out position. Right there. Yeah, we're extended. Cable press. So same thing. Look how you're reaching at the end of that. Boom. Look. See, we're not keeping that press position where we're favoring that chest out and pressing. You're going, yeah, and you're reaching. So we're asking a high demand on the shoulder joint. We don't need to get long here. This last bit of range of motion isn't doing anything we're needing from this movement. So when you set up and you get into this position, I want you to brace, lock in, back down, and press, think about driving your shoulder to the ceiling the whole time. I'm sorry, your chest. The top of your chest to the ceiling the whole time. And you'll also feel that light up the chest more, especially in the deep stretch down in the hole. And when we can really squeeze with the chest at the top of that range of motion when we're not extending and pulling and retracting our chest. Eric Flannery, deadlift. Bar is a little bit behind. As you can see, when you pick up, watch, the bar's going to swing. Boop. It kicks forward. So all you got to do is either A, step back and set up exactly the same, like literally a half inch back. Or when you pull in, which I think, let's see this brace. See how you pitch forward right as you brace? You went from there to there. You kicked forward. So it's creating this line where the bar's behind you. We need to get that bar directly. We need to get you back into your glutes. So kind of push back. And when you brace, kick that tailbone to the sky and push back into your glutes. So that will bring you back and will bring your shoulders over the bar more. So when you input, the first thing the bar does is come up instead of forward. Hack squat. Nice. Landmine setup. So hack squat's just a variation of a squat. Typically comes on an angle. It allows you to really kind of sit back and get into a much more quad dominant position. Sometimes they have an angled foot plate. There's a million ways to do this. Working on depth, should I set my feet out front further to adjust the angle? You can, yes. You're going to have to kind of play with this. There's a couple right answers here. But I think for you, if getting them out further feels more natural for depth, if your restriction on depth is the implement, then you are too close. Stefan, rack pull. Yes. Look at that acceleration. That's what I wanted to see, Stefan. The position looks great. Boom. Hip slamming into the bar. Big glute squeeze. I love this. Well done. Violence. Like it owes you lunch money. Snap that bar in half with your hips. Eric Plowman looks like deadlift. For those of you newcomers, my Zooms are much longer than Jen's. But serves a different purpose. Eric, not a bad start. Your second rep already looks better than your first, which is very normal. Gravity puts in a better position. What I want to change is I want you to get back. So we want to subtly let the hips come up. So by bringing our hips up, it's going to suck our knees back slightly. And we want to rock back into that midfoot. So instead of being so compressed and folded over, I don't know why, I just figured this out, but I can just turn my laptop. So instead of being so compressed and forward, we're going to rock back, hips up. Now we're in our bar path. So you're here, let's get here. one back. So all that was an adjustment, weight shift back, and allowing my hips to rise ever so slightly before I pull. Amanda Duncan, barbell, tempo squats. So we added some tempo into Amanda's squats. She is very hypermobile in her range of motion. And she was almost dive bombing all the way down to the point her hamstrings like touched her calves. So what we did is we added in and we had her put her lifters on for this, that heel elevation, and added in some tempo. So because I want her generating tension all the way down, because we want tension for our drive up. So everything's where it's supposed to be. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. Boom! Look at that. It's way less reboundy and way more harder input. Good. 1,000, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. That was your best rep. There was no subtle speed up at the bottom. 2, 3. Fire. Yes. Amanda, this is exactly what I wanted to see. Well done. Keep this in place as is. Let this progress. This is fantastic. Ryan Tom, belt squats. He's got a pretty rad garage basement gym. He's got all sorts of toys. Good. If we can get a little bit deeper out of you, actually, you're doing it naturally already. Boom. Your first 2 reps were a little high, but you're there now. Just shy of that butt wing. This is good. I take back what I said. You sorted it. Beautiful. Well done. And he doesn't have the belt squat where you have the thing to hold on to and can kind of pull yourself. He's all legs here. Well done. Scott, clean and press. Clean and press. This is what it looks like. He wanted to strict press. Sorry, my parents' neighbors have a bunch of big old diesel trucks. Look when he takes his time. Boom. He's a very good clean. Gets set. He wants strict press, so he finds a strict press position, then he presses. Awesome. He's got a very good clean. He's done this before. It's coming off. Hip, boom. Look at that hip pop through. Well done. So with that being said, I'm going to be picky. You see how you wait to accelerate as you come up? I think this is very light for you, but I want to see what it looks like when you use power, start to finish. Boom. Accelerate to that point. Put some more weight on the bar if necessary. And I want to see what it looks like when you're inputting to accelerate, start to finish on the clean. Ted looks like deadlifts. Good. Ted, your deadlifts are fantastic. I want to see when you get to that point where your hips starting to advance, I want to see those hips fire. I want to see big, heavy glute squeeze. I want your hips to attack the bar. Where that carries over is when you get heavier. If you're sluggish in the hips, lockout gets really, really hard. So we want to attack the bar with your hips like we would if you had max effort deadlift on there. Robert Park, deficit deadlift. This is about what I had on the bar with my lat tour on Monday, Tuesday, whatever it was. I was doing speed work. For context, when he's pulling on this deficit, his position is slightly different when he pulls regular, and that is normal on a deficit deadlift. So we've got to go further. We need to prioritize the quad drive to get it moving up off the floor. And he's doing it correctly. He's not getting out of position to get in position. He finds his position every single rep. Beautiful. Lumbar neutral, boom. A lot of leg drive. Robert, and he's not a short dude. So well done. Low pin squats. Already love it. Love the position. Let's see if he holds it. Yes. Had to find that bar path on the way up. That's very common with pin squats. It's coming up out of the hole. You're finding your groove. Boom. Nailed it on the second one. And the difference was he put input into the bar immediately with his whole body instead of just his legs. And it created that tension. The bar path was there immediately as soon as it moved. Well done, Robert. Neta, front squats.
Yeah, this is one of the first times I've actually felt in control of the dumbbells.
And you have them kind of on your shoulders?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
it looks
actually
good.
didn't get bruised this time either.
Yeah, and depth looks great. Well done. These are fantastic, Neta.
Thank you. It's been a process.
Well, it's paying off because that process looks good.
This process is still a mess. This is going to look horrible, but it's the only way I know to get help.
See, you guys always say that, and then it doesn't look horrible.
Yeah, this does. Just watch it through, you'll see. You'll notice the further I go, the more the shoulder gives out, and I can't control not, the leaning back.
Do you feel the same way when you press in this position?
I don't know that I don't know that I've ever tried it with, out in front.
So not palms toward you, neutral. So even if you
Yeah,
don't
it
have
grabs.
to dumbbell press back here. You don't have to. Anywhere in here is okay. This is what would be called a neutral grip, but you can half it.
Okay.
You can got to be somewhere in this mid range and see if that's easier on your shoulder. So give that a shot. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Yeah, because tomorrow will be a year since I started with the dumbbells.
Okay.
And you can see I still am using, puny weight because I just can't get past this weakness and I decided it was time to ask for help.
Well, yeah. So we're going to test a different technique, just not even a different technique, a different kind of position. And then if we still feel it there, we're going to reprioritize where we're putting in the highest effort in the press. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you a shitload of eccentric work.
Okay.
What that means is, and it's going to be steep. You're going to go from this to up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up 1, like a nice long eccentric, and we're going to just force it with time under tension.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is it's going to create a higher effort at a lower weight without you having to worry about this might be too heavy for my shoulder. And we're going to remove that whole aspect of it and make it hard from a completely different aspect. Because the reality is with this, I say it all the time, effort and time under tension are the non-negotiables. And there's different ways we can generate time under tension: pauses, tempos, bands, chains. There's all sorts of things to load. And especially when it comes from something from an injury, weakness, and a surgery, kind of drawing people back, getting them to drop the weight, and learning how to generate a shitload of effort with a ton of time under tension. And because what's going to happen is for that 6 seconds, you're having to stabilize, priority, and then fire. What I saw there was no issue on the input to press. It really was lagging on your coming down. Is because it was falling out.
Okay.
All right.
All righty. I'll give it a shot.
Cool. Emily, looks like squats. Overall, pretty good. So the thing you did on your first squat, where you rocked up onto your toes, first of all, our unrack. We're going to overhaul our unrack. We're going to get rid of this split stance. We're going to get both feet under the bar. We're going to brace. We're going to pop up. 1-step drop, 2-step drop. We're going to get set. We're going to squeeze our butt. We're going to brace. And we're going to descend. Reason why I'm saying that is, look what you do right when you squat. You kind of rock up on your toes briefly. Boop. Now we're forward. We've completely shifted our weight. Now we're squatting from that forward position. And look, our heels get light again because we're forward. You return to your heels, but you stayed slightly kicked out front from basically the hips up. So I want you in your midfoot and heel when your squat starts. I want tight. See how here we're below depth. But what's happening is we're peeling up on the heel. So we're running into range of motion, and then it's causing you to be out front on the way up. Look how far past the bar is from that where our center needs to be. Our center needs to be midfoot. The bar is all the way kind of, part of it's probably camera angle, but I'm willing to bet that bar is, if not completely past your toes. So we need to get that bar back over your midfoot. That's where you're going to have the most power and efficiency within the bar path. So what we need to do, starting from unrack to setup, what I just said, both feet under, brace, step up, squeeze, 1-step drop, 2-step drop. Rebreathe, brace, squeeze your butt, grab the floor with your feet, sit into your heels. So let's do what we did for Amanda. Let's add some tempo. Let's add 3 count eccentric. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3, fire up. I want that to force bar path. So we're going to spend more time in our bar path with tempo. After that, let's see how the rest of the set looked. Yeah, you're pushing way far forward at the knee too, creating a high demand on ankle mobility, which is in turn what is peeling your knees up because the bar is so far out front. So as you descend, I want you to squeeze with your back. And as you come up out of the hole, I want you to fire into the bar. Not just with your legs into the ground, but actively drive back into the bar. Your squat pattern overall isn't bad. The hinge pattern is good. It's the things kind of around it that need attention. Mike, progressing each week on these bodyweight squats. Susan, this is it. And he's getting deeper this week. All right, Mike. So I want you to come back from the wall with the plates, maybe an inch. I want you to push for even more depth. This is good. We're ticking right along. Right along. The last 2 weeks, Mike, have been really good for progress for you. Calf raises. Force higher onto the ball of that foot. Especially when doing these body weight, we want to get a really big angle out of our feet. So what I mean by that, I can't really see my feet yet. What I mean by that is you're kind of here and stopping. What I want to see you do is really force tension into that foot. So when we come up, my ankles just crack. All the way up. Squeeze instead of just here, pushing all the way through. Slow eccentric. fire, flow eccentric. And what you can do is slowly, that looks like there's a hearth right there. Looks like there's a little bit of an elevation. As you get that down on the ground, what I want you to start doing is step over on that hearth and let your midfoot back hang off of it so we get a nice big stretch and we generate a bigger range of motion as that strength builds. Walter, dumbbell RDLs, third set. Beautiful. Walter, are you in here? Did I see your name in here? The only thing I really want to tell you is really push how far you can push your butt back. Your hinge pattern looks fantastic. Your hinge pattern's looking really, really, really good. Yeah, same thing. So when you feel like your knees are going to start to bend, I want you to think about reaching for something behind you with your hips to an exaggerated extent. And let's see how that feels. Amelie, we are progressing her clean. We've just recently moved from hang cleans or hanging high pulls and high pulls in general to now a full-blown clean. Much better. Yes, Amelie, this is much, much, much better. I want you to bring your feet in a little bit closer together. Do you see how when you catch the bar, your knees collapse inward? Right here. And your feet are trying to get back underneath you. You're cleaning, and then your feet are pigeon-toeing in so you can get underneath your body. So let's bring, yes, you did it. Less knee collapse. They just bowed forward. That was better. So let's go slightly narrower on this position with your foot width. You can keep your arms the same. But that is good. I want another week of this with a narrower foot width. Think directly underneath your hips and shoulders. Justin, cable tricep. Which way? I mean, this is great. Elbows aren't moving. We're not getting any laps. So this is where I would say the difference is in a tricep extension. So you have two types of extensions. You have overhead tricep extensions and you have tricep extensions. The second way you did is what I call a tricep push down. And you can do exceptionally more weight there because we're bringing that leverage of being here. Now we're over top of it and we can push down. It is a actual thing. It is a thing. We use it for a very overloaded tricep assistance piece for powerlifting, strongman. It's a thing. But I want to see you do it the first way. I want you to stay in that stable tricep extension position. Juliana, dumbbell incline. Good. All right. So look at this angle right here. So we actually want to be here, directly over our shoulders. And you're almost coming down to create more angle away from you. So we want to get more here towards our face. And as we come down, we descend, leading with our elbows. So we're not coming down like this. We're coming down like this and then driving and flaring out back towards our face. Single leg hip thrust or glute bridges. More extension. There we go. I really want you to focus on heavy on the extension. I want you to extend further. Just like I tell people in squat, go deeper than you think you are. Try and extend further than you think you're extending. Because it's really important we aim for a nice neutral extension here. And you're kind of flirting with just below a little bit of a sag and really pushing up into extension. And it's hard. It's going to light your glutes up. You're going to feel it. Not bad. We've got the right idea. We just need to get a little bit more extension out of you. That's all. Mark Shindy, front squats, 4th attempt, wider stance. So Mark was incredibly narrow, and he still had exceptional front squat form. So I think we're going to get a little bit more out of his leg drive now that we've done a wider stance. If the video plays. What is going on? Let's try it again. There we go. God damn it. Why is it loading so slow? It's not loading in. Let's give that a second. I'll go back to it. Mark, let's see what we got here. Deadlifts. Take off those shoes, Mark. I can see your feet and ankles fighting for stability, and it's elevating you and pitching you a little bit forward. I want your first rep to look like these. See how I want you to let your butt descend slightly. See how your hips are kind of even with your shoulders? You're doing almost a stiff leg deadlift. So from this position, your hips need to drop slightly. And I need you to drop down and slightly back, and that will pull you back. And that will give you a much better position. Now, I know with these hex plates, they're a fucking nightmare to do reps on, because coming down like that on a point, it's either going to go this way or it's going to go that way. And then you got to readjust every single rep.
They're just shit plates in general.
Yeah. So I understand your struggle there. But we can use this as an opportunity. So going all the way down to the floor, when it settles, I want you to take that time whether it goes forward or back, find your position every rep. We can use this as an opportunity, because right now we're so focused on your position more than anything else. You're doing great here, neutral back, all that's good. But we want more leg drive. So we're finding hip position. So when we do go all the way down, it's okay. Let the bar do what it's going to do. Get back in position, pull your next rep. Let's see if this one will work now. There we go. Drive those knees out. Well done. Mark, drop in the comments on the chat in the article. Tag me. Let me know how these felt, because I like how they look. Actively drive those knees out over your pinky toes the whole time, on the way down and on the way up. But this looks like a better position for you already. I just want some feedback from you on how those feel. Mark, reverse crunch. Mark, you're in here, right? Yeah. How'd those feel?
Yes, man. Let's see. They ended up. I ended up feeling them in my the stomach area, I guess. But yeah, I felt like in the video it seemed like I had to go a lot higher.
Yeah.
Well, I'm having a lot of trouble with that.
So what I want you to do is, when you're in this position, let your knees travel further away from you.
Yeah.
And as you go down, I want you dead stop. So you have to arrest the motion and create contraction in your core. and then back up into the crunch. So you're going to get an elongation of your abdomen and create a bigger range of motion to demand a much bigger contraction.
Right. All right.
Even if that's too easy, just kick your legs out straight. Don't let them go onto the ground, and then bring them back up. And as you crunch up, that's another way to get more out of it, in my opinion. I've done it with like a cable anchored at my feet or a band. I do them that way, personally. Becky, barbell front squats. Much better. I'm curious to see what your width looks like. If you want to give me one from like the back,
Okay.
whatever, so either or, really, so I can see the width. But the heel elevation is definitely helping you. But we still got to go deeper. And again, this is not a restriction because of your hip or ankle mobility at all.
Right.
This is you understanding where your body is in space and getting comfortable in a full range of motion on a squat. So
okay.
I want to see this again. I want to see it from an angle where I can see how wide you are, because it looks like you're narrow.
I think I am. I tried the other day when I was doing bodyweight squats to kind of spread my feet out more and I could go deeper.
Okay.
So I think it's just getting comfortable up on the slant board because I feel super uncomfortable up there doing those, but I guess I'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go honestly, without even seeing it. I know I'm like you confirmed, I know you're narrow. So let's go a little bit wider, like hip width or just feet with your toes pointed out slightly.
Okay.
And let's go half of your foot width each side. Take your feet out. And I'm going to see how that feels for your ability to reach depth.
Okay.
All right. Cool. This is good. We're cooking now. Bart, clean and press. First time. Any strict pressing. All right. So you're squatting. We don't need to squat. Bring your hips up a little bit more. Utilize some of that hinge pattern, that hinge strength that you've built. I want you to hang clean. I think will be the way to go. I don't want you to worry about this. Let's get you hang cleaning because you're jacked up. And I don't want to feed with a fire hose. So let's go from like a hanging high pull position. And I want you cleaning from the top of the knees, hitting triple extension, rising to your toes, and then catching it, and then strict pressing.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was like watching your new videos with Jen, and she was going lower, but she had like normal weight plate from the ground, so that's why I.
Yes, but the difference is you're not doing what she did in the video.
No, I'm not.
No. So how I taught it in Nashville was actually taught it from the press down. So we knew what to do at each point. So we chunked out what would normally be a massive motor skill, and we broke it down into individual motor skills and then put it all together. So I want you to start at a hanging high pull position, because you've done those, right?
Yep, I did. I did clean and presses, but I didn't do a strict presses. So
that's fine. The strict press isn't bad. I want to get the hang clean down, and then we'll really target the press a little bit harder. The press isn't bad. It's working. So we're going to focus on the hang clean position in that hanging high pull, in like a RDL spot, and then hit triple extension, high pull, catch, and then get set. Get your strict press set up, press. All right.
Okay, and about the strict press, because I could do probably like 2 or 3 more cleans, but not another press. Should I just grind it? Or should I do just cleans at the end?
I mean, pick a weight you can press. Ultimately, the weight on a clean and press should be what is picked so that you can complete the full movement. All right?
Okay, will do. Thank you, coach.
Yes, sir. Deadlift PR, fail and correction.
Yeah, I forget it was a deficit. Like my weight plates aren't high enough, so this one goes, but another one didn't, and I see like my butt was too
100%.
high. Butt was,
Got no leg drive.
yeah. But next day
that makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Not quite as technically sound as the first video, but still good. Did you see how your butt kicked up and you kind of two-pieced it? But
yeah,
still,
I'm like so used to normal deadlift height that is like foreign to me. But it was
that was better.
Still on my holiday.
That was better. No, you've got the right idea. We just need to make it all like this one. See how you rose in sequence? Your hips didn't kick up. This was perfect. Boom. Leg drive still inputting and leg drive's done and lockout.
Okay. Thank you, coach.
Yes, sir. Becky, deadlifts. Okay. Becky, I want to see these from the side, directly from the side. And if possible, I'm gonna get a little picky here. The camera is above the plate height. So like think if the camera can be about elbow height on you standing up.
Okay.
I want it from a side view because I think you will benefit potentially from even coming in slightly more narrow on your width on a deadlift. Reason being that I think that is here. And what is happening with your glutes trying to get involved. See how you're finishing your lockout? Like, look how you're, boom, your leg drive, you're hinging, and then almost like your leg drive re-engages. Boom, that would technically be called ramping. Which in a powerlifting meet will give you a no rep if you're interested in powerlifting. You'll get a red light.
Okay.
I want it to all happen in sequence. So, what is causing that is you're in position here, you're driving, and then right here, you've now lost your lumbar neutrality. You boom, your hips kick under, so you're hinging off the floor. You're hinging, you're going here, and then you're going, and then now you're out of position, and you have to bit to lock out. Versus maintaining that brace, maintaining that hip position, and coming up and squeezing the butts as your shoulders rise up and back, squeezing the butt, and it comes through to lockout, and your leg drive and everything collects all at once.
Okay. So squeeze my butt more is what you're saying.
Yes, but don't let it curl under. We need to keep that neutral position.
Okay.
So if you're squeezing your butt and it's forcing underneath, it means you're not in position to advance to the bar correctly and lockout, which is leaving you out of position and why you're having to kind of ramp the last inch of lockout.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna open it up now for questions. Bart's got his hand up. Hit me.
Yeah, so I was searching for my oldest videos to send you for you, and I couldn't find older than like 3 or 5 months, but I can already see the difference. And if any newcomers will see this, like you all, I wanna point out to Jen's last Zoom. There was a quote that average person don't run marathons, average person don't pick up weights, don't join Arnold Pump Club, and you're doing all the workouts. You have your phone with you, and it's such a tiny addition to just record. Put the phone to the wall and record your last set, and see those in a week, in a month, to see how much you progress, even especially when you're stuck or when you feel it doesn't work. So, and I can throw it to you, because if you're recording your last set, that nobody's too advanced for it, and if you're a beginner, then you have so much to learn, and you won't get afraid of injury if you know your technique is sound. So thank you, coach.
Yes,
and I hope you're gonna get. I hope you're gonna get rebuilt like the thesis ship. If all the planks are swapped on the pirate ship, is it the same ship? I think you're gonna be a better pirate ship after the rehab. And
thank you.
I love the spirit.
I appreciate you so much. But you kind of nailed it. Like I'm doing the same thing you guys are. Like I record every top set of my compound movements for my coach. Not that he may necessarily need to adjust something technique wise for me, but it's data, it's information. Is my speed work doing its job? Am I maintaining my position on my max effort stuff where it's more likely to start to deteriorate? I'm doing it at the highest level. And so I'm not having you guys do it just because it's for beginners. Professional athletes record their sets and they review them with the coach. Simple as. Like it has a place for the duration of lifting, and why not utilize something that can only help us? So you hit the nail on the head, Bart.
Yeah, I also I know even our crew of champions is like wondering. I don't wanna to look stupid or something, and I had the same like before I sent you the clean and presses. My shirt was already soaked in sweat and I was dripping, and I was like, do I want to send it to and get it on YouTube, or do I need help? And I needed help more than being afraid of looking stupid or something. So,
man, the amount of times like I probably look stupid sending to my coach, and him and I have a pretty close relationship. So if I do something funny, he's gonna laugh and I'm gonna hear about it, and that's fine. Like if you can't laugh at yourself, life's gonna be real difficult. And I'm sitting here sweating because it's like 90% humidity right now. And so when I'm sweating, when I'm training in an open air gym in a barn and it's 100 degrees out and it's humid as hell, I'm a hot mess. My beard's all frizzled out because it's humid. Like it's just 10,000 BC. You know, it is what it is, and that's what you're gonna get. So if you're worried about looking stupid because you're a hot mess, you're training. I'm not expecting dolled up. Like you're lifting. Be a hot mess. Thank you, Bart. Jeremy, hit me. There
Sorry,
you go.
sound turned on.
No worries.
Kind of just have like a mindset type question. So I'm doing the maximize strength program right now, phase 1. Yesterday I did, or Wednesday I did, 5 sets of deadlift 5x4s. Today I'm supposed to do 5x2s on deadlifts. And just trying to figure out a mindset with having deadlifts that heavy, that rapidly back to back in the program, and how to go about not killing myself today.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you, last week on the 5x2s, I just sucked as the strength was not there.
Linear progression. This is like that's very basic progression. It's nothing like if you get in 5-3-1, this is how things progress on a weekly basis. It is progressive overload. It's a week apart. I wouldn't call it back to back.
Well, I'm going to move that. It was like because last Wednesday and then Friday, because it's the same thing. The deadlifts both days. I did the 4s. I felt great on Wednesday. Tuesday, or Friday, I'm just absolutely just stuffed them. It just was not there. So I'm hoping to do a little bit better today.
Yeah, I mean, So you felt good the day of the deadlifts, or you felt good the day before?
So my Wednesday deadlifts were fucking great. Like this last week, the 2 days ago, I did, I was able to do 285 for 4 on, most of the sets, which is like fucking phenomenal for me. That's like kick ass. So today I'm, with going with 2s, I'm hoping I can hit, I don't know, 295, 300. But last week, for an example, I did 275 by 4 on Wednesday. And then on Friday, I was struggling to get the 275 up just for like 2.
I see what's going wrong. You're paying attention to the number as the feedback. You can't go about that in strength training. The only time a number matters is at the end of a program and you test and you hit or exceed what you did. When we're talking about the middle of a program, I'm like, man, I'm deadlifting twice a week. I couldn't deadlift the same weight I did 2 days ago. Fuck. No. That makes sense. So what it's doing is with that, you have to go off of effort. Weight on the bar becomes irrelevant when we're talking strength training long term. Because it's the same problem I had with Catch. And once I got him over it, when he learned that there's accumulating fatigue in a program, and that just because the reps are less doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to do more. Effort is a day-to-day basis. So let's take RPE, for example, like on a scale of 1 to 10. A 9 typically means you have maybe one more left in the tank. And first set mindset is basically teaching guys to operate at an RPE 9 on your stuff. Main reason we go about it the way we do is because hard to swallow pill. Most people don't understand what it looks like to train with high effort. They go in, they get through it, or they do it, and they've been training that way for years. I'm like, man, I'm plateaued. Well, yeah, because you're not progressive overload. So the longer you do this and the longer you're like, man, I want to focus on actually getting stronger, there's different ways to program effort. There's RPE. The main ones are RPE and percentage-based training. They're both guides. If you have a set of 70%, it doesn't mean you have to hit 70%. If you go in and you're working up and you're at 65% and it's moving how 70% should, that's what matters, because that's where your effort is for the day. That's what you have available on the day of. So you're looking at it from, man, I didn't hit the number, I didn't get stronger, and that is completely wrong in every way, shape, or form, because it's all based on effort. The two things, I've said that, you hear me say it all the time, effort and time under tension. Those are the two non-negotiables. So let's say you said you hit what, 275, 285 by 4?
Yeah.
So you know what to expect out of your recovery. You know what to expect, how you're going to feel. When you're working up, if you're paying attention, you'll have a telltale number. And what that'll mean is I would guess probably around 200 to 225. If your deadlift has pepper, you're going to know you got something in the tank and you might exceed that 285 mark for the doubles. But if it feels heavy, that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means you had high effort on your last training day on the same movement pattern, and it costed something. So to maintain that same effort, that 9 out of 10, it might mean you do 265 5x2. But if the effort was still there and you're within that 1 rep of failure, that's all that matters. The number, irrelevant.
All right, valid. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sir.
Nick, can I just tell him something? Because I did maximize your strength twice.
Sure.
So yeah, like Nick is saying, your effort is not always going to be there. Like your max effort one day is going to be like 285. Cool, I did it. But then the next day can suck. So you just got to deal with it and just find your sweet spot for that day. Yeah, so one day it would be like 250 and you're like, okay, I dropped 35 pounds, but what the hell? I'm doing my effort anyway. So that's what you got to think. Don't think about the weight. Think about how you move your weight and how it feels that day. That's all you need to do. And put in your work.
You can get the same effort out of I mean, there are days where I've gone in the gym smoked and 80% felt like 90%. And that's what you have to work with for the day. And it's as simple as that. Every day has potential to be different. There's so many variables, how work went, how your nutrition went, how your sleep went. And those are all factors in how much you have in the tank horsepower wise. But the only thing within your control is effort and time under tension. That's it.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Pete, hit me.
Yeah, I just got his question got to think. I'm doing maximize your strength, and I'm looking probably on Sunday on deadlifts 5x4 as well. While I'm trying to get the mechanics of the deadlift, do I still push the effort as far as the weights and stuff like that, or how do you balance
I
that
still
out?
want you getting something out of it.
Yeah.
So where we're compensating is range of motion, is and your position. So you're going to pick a weight where you can still function in your position soundly. And when that position starts to fail, that's when you know you've kind of hit your limit.
Okay, so yeah, still balls to the wall. Still, hit the good effort. Yeah.
Yes, hit the
And
good
not just-
effort with the good input.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes, sir. Susan, go ahead.
Okay. Well, next week is my first week of retirement, and I want to build out my home gym.
Right.
And I occasionally look through Facebook Marketplace, but I don't know. Is there anything I should specifically stay away from if I buy a squat rack on the marketplace?
I mean, that's always a potential.
Yeah.
The biggest factor is budget. And there are companies that you pay for what you get. Some people have had some success with companies that I stay away from. I avoid Titan has a great price point for a lot of people.
Titan brand?
They don't have the name Titan has a great price point, but what I was going to follow that up with, they have a terrible reputation in strongman for their yokes, their logs. They break, they bend because of the abuse. But some people, let me put it this way. You're not going to put the stress on a piece of their equipment that I'm going to put on it.
True, for sure. And I'm not going to try to put that.
That's where the nuance is.
Yeah.
It would likely be great for you because of where you're at with your lifting. So I'm borderline curious because there's so many people that have this question of what to get, where to get. And we've had so many people in the app do it that I think what I'm going to do is go to Catch and be like, hey, and this is a group that you wouldn't really need the coaches for. This is a group strictly for the community, by the community, called Home Gym Equipment. Because Leah.
Rogue is beautiful, but I can't. $6,000 is a trip to Europe. I don't want to allocate that kind of
great
funds.
stuff at Marketplace.
Yeah.
And so I think that could be really beneficial for all of you home gym builders to have a place where you guys can go like, hey guys, does anybody have any experience with finding a rack? How'd you do it? What'd you find? What worked? What price points?
So like a dedicated group to home gym?
That is kind of run and autonomous. It doesn't really need.
That would be cool.
It doesn't need coach input because it is very much nuanced.
Because I see a lot of, on here, I see a lot of, garage and home gym
Yes,
people,
and me too. And that's what I mean.
I don't know what brands I'm looking at, so.
And that's where other people. I'm not a home gym. I train in a training facility, right? And I don't have the most conventional equipment. I have stones from 150 pounds to 400 plus pounds. I've got sandbags from 100 to 350. I've got kegs. I've got Husfeld stones. I don't have any machines. I have reverse hyper glute ham raise. That's as close as I get to a machine. Anything that requires a cable, I use bands. I have racks. I have yokes. I have all these things that don't apply to your need. And I'm not someone who's afraid to say I don't know.
Yeah.
So there are so many people in the pump that have gone through that process and kind of found their way that could potentially give you better advice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one to catch and be like, hey guys, I think this will be a really good group that requires no really oversight from us. I think it'll simply be a good place where people with this question that happens very often can exchange information, because there are hundreds of you at least that have a home gym out of the tens of thousands of people on the app that go through it and acquire and find pieces and collect and do all this stuff at different levels. Some people are on the collector side. They want the nice plates. Some people don't give a shit. I just need something that works. And I think that free exchange of information would be great for someone like you.
Yeah, and I would like the Olympic size plates that are all the same diameter. I don't like the ones that are what?
The bumper plates, they're rubber.
Bumper plates. Yeah. Okay.
They're the ones that you can drop, and they have basically a metal core and then the rubber around it.
Okay. Gotcha.
I will say, if you're looking for the colored like Olympic style plates, you're going to pay Olympic prices.
Okay. Unless I get them used.
Olympic things that are branded Olympic, typically in the strength world, are coming at a higher premium because a lot of they require calibration.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
okay. Well,
I would look when you search. I would
start
search
small
bumper.
then.
Bumper
Yeah.
plate.
Bumper.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but they look.
One more question.
Yes.
One more question. I have never done a deadlift on a bar, on a barbell. Where would I start as far as weight? I mean, I know I can pick up a 45-pound bar. I can pick up a 100-pound lab. I can squat one of my dogs.
You would
to put
honestly,
him in the car.
You would know that answer better than me. What I would say is I'd go in, and if you have a gym with those bumper plates, load the tanks on. See how it feels. Load the 10-pound bumpers on. The big rubber 10-pounders. Load those
65
on.
pounds.
Yeah, see how it feels. Then take those off, put on the 25, see how it feels. So what weight you should start is such a impossible question to answer. Less is more.
I was thinking going forward, put 45s on there, and if I can't pick it up, go down.
I wouldn't take the shotgun approach, but then I would also be a hypocrite. So I would just start small and record every set and submit what you like. When you start getting that limit of where you feel like, all right,
I can't get this
starting to feel weird. I shouldn't. Let me back off and listen to your body on that. If you're unsure, play conservative. Send me a video. We'll get you sorted, and then you can start trending up in weight.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna be on a dumbbell program, but I'm kind of thinking ahead.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So buy a couple of 10-pound bumpers, 20-pound bumpers.
Yeah.
Get all that situated.
No rush.
Yeah. Right. No, I know I'm a ways away, but I'm just kind of allocating my funds and my space and all that.
Yep. Good.
And Andreas has given me a bunch of stuff to look at. Cool. Thanks, Andreas.
Andreas, thank you, Susan.
All right.
You got it.
Brian, hit me.
Yeah, I think everybody's commented on it for Susan there, but there was a club newsletter from a year or so ago with garage gym review information on how to do a budget gym at a couple different levels. So I would definitely do a search for that.
So which newsletter? The Schwarzenegger newsletter?
Yeah, the Pump Club email newsletter.
Okay,
I don't think it made it into the app. I think it was only in the newsletter. But yeah, I think it gave 3 different price points. I can see in the comments there, Garage Gym Reviews was the one who did it.
Okay.
So you can check them out too. They also have a second site called Budget Gym Reviews.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I'll look for it.
Anybody else before we shut her down? Any questions, concerns? No last takers. All right. Well,
Jake, I have a question.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh in the army? Because without the beard, it's 10 pounds off.
When I first got in the army, I joined at 18. I was about 150, 155 pounds. I could run like hell. I could do 1,000,000 push-ups, 1,000,000 sit-ups. When I got out of the Army, I was about 175, 180 pounds because I was fighting. I was fighting at light heavyweight. And then from there, I was lifting and stuff, but I was lifting for a different reason. And then from there, I was like, I want to see how strong I can get. My buddy invited me to a strongman gym, and I started eating. I started training heavier. I started training for strength, and less more for a specific sport. And I would say when I first started strongman, I was about 185 pounds, and now I'm 225. So in the last decade, 95, 05, 15, 20, I put on 40 pounds in 10 years. Give or
Okay.
take.
I was asking because I don't want to bulk, but I'm tired of like getting to visible abs, so I'm just recomping still, and I noticed that I'm not getting heavier, but the weights are. You mentioned
Yes.
it before,
And-
like you started light on the light. You were lightest in the previous division, and
here's the thing, I compete in a weight class. So like me being 235 and cutting to 198, or being like 105 kilo, which is what I'm damn near, and cutting down to 90 kilo costs something. So being too far out of striking range of where I'm competing is detrimental. So the last decade, I've prioritized maximizing my frame. So yes, even if you're training for strength, there will be slow gains, and eating correctly, slow weight gains over time. But it's inevitable. You're going to have to gain weight to get stronger, even if it's slow. But it's why I've gained so lean. I've put on muscle mass. I really only get to a certain amount of fat because of the way I eat. And then we start really constricting and recomping the body coming into a weight cut. And I lean out heavily, and I'm hungry. But I also have enough to keep the power before the big part of the cut really happens. So it's a matter of, I will say this, training for aesthetic is fine. Look, a lot of people just train to look good naked. Jen always jokes, my muscles are for show. Well, hers by that. And I've always trained for strictly output. The aesthetic is a byproduct. So training for aesthetic doesn't guarantee a strength byproduct. It does to a certain extent, but a strength byproduct, when coupled with good nutrition, aesthetics are a byproduct of strength. Look at a 300-pound strongman. A lot of them have abs now. Like it's simply, strength athletes eat like bodybuilders now. It's the way to go. So we have that dialed in nutrition, along with the ability to train like absolute savages. I hope that answers your question. If we don't have any more questions,
we're nowhere near 4 hours. So
yes, yeah. There's another 2 hours and 40 minutes this time, so we're doing all right. But I will catch you guys next week. What day to be determined. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for submitting, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick. Good weekend, y'all.
Good to see
Bye,
everybody.
guys.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Nick.